Fifth grade, so you have been reading the last few days about Australia, and that is called the Land Down Under. Now, it is called the Land Down Under because it is one of two countries that is actually located below the equator. However, nobody really lives on Antarctica, do they? So they don't really count that one as the Land Down Under. They go ahead and count Australia as that one country that everybody lives on down under. Okay, so the capital city is Canberra, and a lot of people either live in the cities, which are along the coast, or they live in large ranches called stations. There are a few different areas of Australia. We have the central lowlands and the western plateau called the outback. There's also the two largest deserts in Australia are called the Great Sandy and Great Victoria Desert. And there's also the Great Artesian Basin, which is an area of underground water. And that's good for agriculture like growing wheat and also for raising sheep and cattle. The Murray River is the longest all year-around flowing river in Australia, which is important because part of Australia has large deserts going throughout it. And then also the Great Dividing Range, which is the large mountain range on the eastern side of Australia. Kind of blocks off part of the ocean from the inland part of eastern Australia. Now, one of the most magnificent things that Australia has to offer the world in general, I would say, is the Great Barrier Reef. Now, this is the largest coral reef in the world, and it sprawls out around Australia for 1,250 miles. And it is home of some of the most beautiful sea life that anyone has ever seen, and it is awesome for scuba diving. But Australia also has some wonderful animals as well, and we saw some of those. We saw koalas, duck-billed platypus, the wallaby, kangaroos, emus. I mean, there are so many unique marsupials that live in Australia. Now, the first people that lived in Australia were the Aborigines, and they were the earliest settlers. They were some that used boomerangs, which is a fun thing. I would love to see if we could all figure out how to throw a boomerang and get back to us, but I guess it's a very, very hard thing to do, and you have to throw it exactly a certain way. So pretty cool there. But Australia is wonderful, and so at the end of this, go ahead and press pause, fill in those things I just went over that you need for quiz 34, and there are two other things I need to go over. And that is 2 facts on that worksheet about Antarctica. One is it is another location that is south of the equator. And 2, it is the only country with no inhabitants, meaning nobody lives there, right? So those are on your quiz 34 worksheet. And so make sure you get those down as well. Lastly, when you are done filling out your worksheet from this video, which I have all the answers on the next slide, please make sure that you go ahead and fill out the map as well, and you could take a look at your book on page 292 for that. Okay, that was a little recap on Australia. I hope you guys enjoyed watching some of the videos on Australia, and the next few days we're going to be going over Oceania and Antarctica.